Welcome to another edition of Douglas on My Mind, and we're here in the month of August, and we are glad that school is back upon us, and we're going to talk with our special guest today, which is Dr. Leis, our Superintendent of Schools here in Coffee County, and we're also going to talk a little later to Georgia Henderson, our Public Information Director, about the South Georgia Expo, and that'll be taking part sometime in the month of August. I think August 21st to 23rd. So we will be right back after these messages from our sponsor. We're back from our break, and this is the Douglas on My Mind show, and my name is Terrell, City Manager, and I have with us none other than our illustrious, I'm going to go ahead and put,
thank you,
I'm going to put the flowers on him.
You are too kind.
Superintendent of School System, Mr. Dr. Leis, and I'm glad that you're on the show today.
Well, appreciate you having me here.
Good.
I do.
Well, every year, I hope around this time, we're going to try to have him on and talk about the beginning of the school system and what it means and what are some things happening to keep you informed about your school system, because this is your school system.
Yes, sir. This is the taxpayers, the parents, the community members, everyone here in Coffee County. This is their school system. So it's important that they know what's going on. And we want to share that today.
Right. So since we're talking about the school system and those things, what are some changes that parents and students need to know about that's going on in the school system this year?
This fall we'll be implementing something known as the Community Eligibility Program, or CEP. It's a meal program that's funded through the federal government, and this meal program will provide free breakfast and free lunch for all of our students at all of our elementary schools, our middle school, our 9th grade academy, and the career academy. So the students at those schools will be able to eat free breakfast and free lunch. They won't have to worry about their lunch number or ID or their card or whatever. They will be able to go through the lunch line and get their meal for free at those sites. At Coffee High School, we won't be able to offer the CEP program. At this point, we just don't have the numbers there to be able to earn the CE program for there, but we're going to look at it this year, and that may be something we get in the future there also.
Okay. Well, we were talking off camera a little bit, and I was telling them I'm dating myself here now.
Yes, sir.
I recall, there was kind of a little stigma when kids had free and reduced lunches and they didn't have opportunity to purchase theirs, if you will, and we had to come to the front of the class to get a ticket or whatever it may be, and obviously that is a challenge, and try to take that stigma and some of that little embarrassment away. And another thing that I'm understanding as well, I know we got some kids that sometimes go home, not being able to be fed in the afternoon. So hopefully this will give them some good substance of meals during the day in that regard.
That's right. If you look at the hierarchy of needs, a hungry child is not a healthy child, and we want to make sure all of our students here in Coffee County are healthy and that they have a nutritious breakfast and a nutritious lunch. And this is a federally funded program, so we will be getting tax dollars that have been sitting in Washington will be coming back to us in the form of meals for all of our students in grades kindergarten through 8th grade, and then the 9th grade academy and the career academy. We're real excited about it. Yes, sir.
And I didn't pose this to some of the questions, but is there some correlation between the health and well-being of a child in regards to their student success? I keep hearing a whole lot about it. Is there some?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's important not only for children to have a healthy and nutritious diet, but also just the caring adults in their lives and taking care of their physiological needs in regards to their health. And we do have the nursing program in our
Right.
schools, and part of our nursing program is the telehealth program. We have telehealth units in all of our schools. So when your child comes to school this year, make sure you fill out the telemedicine form, and if a parent fills out the telemedicine form, their child can actually see a doctor while they're at school in the nurse's clinic. We'll have a camera system, a computerized system that will allow their physician, if they are part of the telehealth network, to actually see their child, diagnose any problems that they have at school, and then also contact the pharmacy
Wow.
for the medication. And when
great.
the parent gets off work, they can go by the pharmacy and get the medication for the child that's been diagnosed in the nurse's office at school.
Right.
So it's a wonderful program.
Right. Well, obviously, the expanded role of school system trying to help the child be more engaged from the health, the physiological well-being, all those things are very critical because student success is what we all are trying to achieve.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And that's one of the pivotal things. Parents have an extreme role to play in that by doing what you can to help them connect to some of these resources, and they are out there. You just got to connect to them. So I'm
And
glad.
our staff has done an excellent job at identifying some of these programs that can really help our children, and we're really excited about it.
Right.
We're fortunate.
So I want to do a shameless plug to those parents out there. Obviously, you're hearing about some of these things, and we're going to talk about some others, but a lot of resources for you to avail your children and yourselves to help them be successful in the school system. We want all of our children to be great achievers, and
That's right.
and graduation, I think the slogan is, our statement is, destination, graduation, career, and life.
That's right.
I got it right, did I right?
Our mission is destination graduation for college, career, and life.
All right, I'm almost
that's
there.
where we want all of them graduate from high school, all of them able to go on and either go to college or go to the military, or go out to one of our local industries and get a productive job.
Right.
So
Good.
that's our goal.
Good. That's perfect. That's perfect.
sir.
Now, as we talked about some of the changes, there with change sometimes come, challenges and some opportunities, as I always say, opportunity to make a difference and hopefully improve our conditions around us. So what are some of those opportunities that y'all are facing with the school system that you might want to share?
I would say one of our biggest challenges over the last 6 years has been austerity reductions from the state in the funding of the state education formula. It's known as QBE.
Yeah, and I was going to say, break that down. Austerity
sir.
cuts, what those mean?
We receive our funding from the state through something called the QBE formula. They look at how many students we have and the different classification of students, and then they send us funding from the state based on that formula. Starting in 2003, the state legislature began enacting what they called austerity cuts. It started out as a small amount for Coffee County. For example, in 2003, they cut $300,000 out of what was sent from the state to Coffee County to educate students. And then gradually, from 2003 all the way to 2014, it went up. And we were fortunate that last year the governor did put back in around 30% of our austerity cut was reduced, but we still, coming into this year, we'll have a $3.75 million austerity cut for Coffee County.
Wow.
That means we have to try to make up that difference locally. And what I would ask our lawmakers and those who have any influence with the people in Atlanta that can make a difference is for them to reduce the austerity and ultimately eliminate austerity.
Right.
We would like to at least earn the funding that we earned back in 2002. If we could earn the level of funding that we had in 2002, then we would be in really good shape. So that's our biggest challenge. It really is the continued withholding of money for education in Atlanta.
Right. Well, you're talking about those cuts and $3.75 million. It's not anything to shrug off. I mean, that is a big challenge, a large leap.
Yes,
I think
sir.
a meal of taxes for the school system is around about, what, 600 or 800?
About 780.
So, you're looking at almost about 3 to 4 meals in relationship
At least.
to.
Yeah, we could not raise the millage high enough to cover that cut.
Right,
Even
right.
if we maxed out our millage, it wouldn't. And that's not fair to the property owners
Exactly.
in your communities. I
Right.
think that the burden's being placed too heavily on property owners, and the state has the ability to tax statewide, and raise the revenue in ways other than just property taxes.
That's correct.
So
that's correct.
that's our biggest challenge, is the continued austerity.
Right. And one of the things that we want to talk about is some of the future projects, and I know you're going to talk about some of those capital projects that you have, but,
Yes,
but before we go into that, and I know you got some great ones and you'll talk about, and hopefully people will get a chance to see some of these projects this school term, but before we head into those projects, a lot of those cuts in regards to that are operating dollars more so than capital projects, and I think a lot of our viewers get confused about
Yes,
when
sir.
they hear projects going on, capital projects, but that comes out a different pot of money versus
That's right.
that. So
The eSPLOST program has been very good for our school system, and that is approved by our voters. Last year, eSPLOST 4 was approved by about an 80% margin.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but the eSPLOST dollars can only be used for capital improvements, such as purchasing buses, purchasing books, or building buildings, or buying computers. So we can't use eSPLOST to pay salaries.
Right.
So while we do have money for capital projects, like building a new Broxton Elementary School or like doing the improvements at Eastside, we can't use that money for operating costs.
Right.
So there is a difference, and
Right.
it is, I think it's important that everybody understand that difference.
Right. So kind of talk to us about some of these projects. I know obviously you got several of the larger projects, and you got some of the smaller ones. So kind of give us a laundry list of what's going on as far as project goes.
Yes, sir. We have the new Broxton Elementary School that is opening up for students on Wednesday. So
Wow.
we're so excited about that. I was out there this morning, and it's a beautiful school. I think the children are going to really love their new school. The entire Broxton community, I think, is going to be very pleased with the outcome. And they've got their School of Excellence flag flying out in front of the
Good.
school, and so they are a Georgia School of Excellence. So
Yes.
it's something that we can all be proud of, that not only do we have a Georgia School of Excellence, it'll be our newest facility. So
that's
if you
great.
get a chance, go out and see the new school in Broxton. Over at Eastside Elementary School, we redesigned the drop-off and pick-up driveways for Eastside Elementary School. You're going to find increased parking. There was a lack of parking over there. That school was originally built for about 300 students, but we now house, with additions that have been added to it, we can house up to around 700 students. But they didn't have adequate parking,
Yeah.
and they didn't have adequate room to get cars off of McDonald Avenue. So
Right.
we've put in a new traffic system with parking lot there at Eastside Elementary School, and I think people are going to be very pleased
Right.
when they go by there and see what's happened.
Yeah, I've gone that way a couple of times. The issue of stacking out into the roadway was the
Yes,
issue.
sir.
They had no other choice because limited space on the campus. But now they'll have a great opportunity
Yes, sir.
to get their cars lined up so they can pick up their loved ones, their children, and so forth and so on. So that's great.
That traffic should come off of McDonald,
Right,
and
right.
should be much nicer.
Let me go ahead and throw this out. Our police officer is going to be trying to assist the principal
Yes, sir.
just to make sure that the flow works well and make sure that people don't accustomed to parking out into the McDonald's street
Yes, sir.
as they previously were, that they'll be able to come onto the campus and drop off their children and pick up their children in a very safe and easy manner. So we'll be there for a while until we can get everybody accustomed to
Yes,
the
sir.
new arrangement. So I'm glad that that's going on. Any other projects that y'all are working on?
Other improvements that have gone on over the summer, we painted at Eastside Elementary
Mm-hmm.
School as part of our painting program, the inside and the exterior of the school. Also, the George Washington Carver Freshman
Okay.
Academy was painted inside and out. All of the classrooms, all of the areas in the school, the hallways have been painted. So they have a fresh coat of paint. We did some flooring work out at Indian Creek. They've got a couple of halls that now have new tile instead of the old carpet. So we've had improvements all over the county. We're real excited about it. Yes, sir.
Good. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to take just a few minutes break, and we'll be right back with more questions for Dr. Leis after these messages.